I don't think. The best alternative format to CRT at that time was rear projection. So a friend of mine already had a Panasonic 47-inch rear projection TV. I'm going to shut that now. It's a bit windy when you're doing 50. But I didn't want 47-inch. That's too big, and it was too big for the room I was going to put it in, and the fact that I had to take it upstairs. So I went for 36-inch CRT screen. I don't like these bumps on here. Yeah, I bought that, and it was the dog's dangly bits at the time. It featured a built-in Dolby Digital 5.1 processor and a built-in DTS Digital Theatre Surround processor 5.1. So you could plug in get your DVD player and plug. I hate those bumps. What's the point of those? Yeah, they're not good. I'm doing 55. He's not. That's alright, it's a BMW with a private plate, he can do what he wants. So, yeah, this telly, you could plug in a DVD player, just plug a fibre optic cable or a coaxial digital cable straight out the back of your DVD player, or whatever, into the back of the TV, and the TV would sort out the DTS or the Dolby Digital 5.1. No matter what the input source was, you could get Dolby Digital, Dolby Pro Logic, and it had all the surround modes and all that nonsense on it. So it was 5.1 surround sound TV. And at the time, I think I only had Dolby Pro Logic surround sound amplifier, which is like garbage now. So I got the telly anyway. The telly was $2.5 grand. We're talking about 11 years ago, a 36-inch CRT telly, $2.5 grand. But I love Panasonic and I love the TV. It was a nice silver cabinet on the TV and a silver stand for it, a wooden stand but finished in silver veneer, cheap crap. But the stand weighed about 35 kilos and it had the centre speaker and the subwoofer built into the cabinet, the stand. And the TV weighed 85 kilos, 86 kilos. That's a lot. That was a lot. That took me and my brother a bit of effort getting that up the stairs, I'll tell you. Yeah, so I had that, and my brother said at the time we got it up the stairs, up 2 flights of stairs into an attic, believe that. We had to take the doors off, a couple of doors off. The one at the bottom of the attic stairs, the bathroom door, had to come off just to get the TV round the corner. Oh God! To get the TV round the corner. So we got the TV, got it upstairs, and my brother said at the time, "You're not getting that down here ever again. That is staying here, and when the house sells, the TV's staying. You have to let it go with the house. Add it onto the price or something and tell them it comes with the house." 7:21 and it's a Sunday, so we could stay in here and do 40. So I bought that TV, and obvious reason that it cost me so damn much money, I decided I wasn't going to get rid of it or change it. So even though I'm a gadget person and I like technology and IT and computers and gizmos and the latest technology, I just wouldn't change that TV. So I missed out on so long, and I'm a huge movie fan. I've got about 500 DVDs. And the other thing I bought when I bought the TV, the friend of mine who had the 47-inch rear projection TV also had an amplifier by Yamaha, which was called a DSP A2 amplifier, and I know I'd loved it for so long. And there were 3 models of amplifier above the DSP A2 that he had. One of them above his was an AX2, then there was an A1, and then there was an AX1, and I think the X was a rear centre channel. That's my phone, but I can't answer that. definitely can't answer that. So my friend John, I haven't changed his name for the purposes of the video, that's his real name. John, with his 47-inch rear projection telly and a DSP A2 amp, I went and bought the 36-inch Panasonic telly and a DSP AX1, which was the best one you could get at the time, amplifier, and that was 2,200. I think it was 2199 or 2299. So it was either 2,200 or 2,300. And I bought that, and I bought the telly. And is another thing about growing up. I've always been a music fan and a video and DVD fan, and I like speakers, hi-fi. I like decent quality hi-fi. I've always had a good hi-fi. Separate hi-fi components with, you know, you have a separate CD player. You could get the cheap, crappy ones, but I had sort of middle of the range for what, you know, what I could afford. Two decent CD players, and from the time I bought something called a Meridian Argent. I don't understand this bit actually. It's made by a company called Meridian, but it says on the front Meridian Argent Boothroyd Stewart, and it's an amplifier, and it was a really old classic amplifier, Meridian 105 monoblock power amps. So you had a left channel amplifier, a right channel amplifier, and the left amp had a power supply externally attached to the side of it, and the right channel had another one attached externally to the side of it, and you could reconfigure them any way you wanted. You have them, apart from probably having them, you could probably, if you were really stupid, have 4 side by side, but you'd have to have a very big unit to put them on. So the idea was, and the way I got them already configured, a power supply attached to an amplifier and then another power supply attached to an amp, and you stack them on top of each other. But if, for example, you wanted to attach, say, the 2 amplifiers together and the 2 power supplies together, and then stack them that way, so you'd have the power amps on the, say, the amps on the bottom or the amps on the top, and the power supply for each one, vice versa, above it or below it. But I had those and a preamplifier with an input selector to choose your music source, and I'd always had nice decent floor standing speakers, big bass units, plenty noise, and yeah. So the other thing, there's a bit of a topic here that I'd planned for another update, is meeting your heroes, meeting your childhood heroes, or revisiting childhood memories. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Well, let's put it this way. Growing up as a wee small boy, I used to look at the motorbike magazines and wanted a motorbike, and didn't have very expensive tastes. Well, I did. I wanted the best that I could have for the money, but didn't have any money. I mean, we're talking about when I would have been 14 and 15, and I didn't have money. I didn't work. Dad, as I've said before, used to change his bike every couple of years, which is why every time he'd change his bike, it was very cruel of him, let's be fair. He used to change his bike every 2 years and come in with the latest Honda brochure. There you go, son, have a look through those, see what you're not having. Thanks, Dad. Right, all sorts of topics going on. I had originally intended just to share the cat up a tree story. Let's just say that, you know, the cat's fallen asleep, everybody lived. Oh, me and the cat survived, everybody lived happily ever after. So the cat was saved and I was saved. So did I save the cat up the tree, or did he save me? He probably saved me. There's a twist on the old theme. So yeah, cat up a tree, zombie apocalypse, topics covered. Right, tunnels, new topic. As I went through the tunnel at Yeadon a few times recently, I thought this was the reason I'd set off on the route I was going this evening was to share these with you guys. What are you thinking of this? Yeah, I think that's the best one. That's the longest. Worth every penny. So yeah, I think I want to come off at the next exit. I'm not going to do many more tunnels. I'm going to get off at this one. There you go, that's your tunnels for now. Yeah, there is another one there, but it's not as long as that last one. Yeah, so yeah, the plan had been I'll set off and I'll do the kettle per tree story and the zombies and finish that and stop recording, so it's not going to be a long video, and then I'll start off another one before I get to the tunnels, and I'll post it up separately, a tunnels video for my friend, my subscriber, who says he doesn't live within 300 miles of a tunnel. And that's about 7-8 miles from my house. This is Leeds town centre, by the way, now. So Bradford to Leeds. Right. So I guess it's going to be all one long video again, because I'm still no I'm still no George Lucas when it comes to video editing. What do I want? A61 Harrogate and Moortown, that's what I want. Yeah, so meeting your heroes, your childhood heroes, or revisiting childhood dreams. There's another topic. I'll do the whole thing separately, I think, rather than just keep going now like I have been. There was a pair of speakers I wanted very, very much as a wee small boy. Mission. I'm not sure I got the pair I was after. There were Mission, I think there was 753 or 754, and they were called Mission Freedom. They were the flagship model, best you could get that Mission made at the time when I was a wee small boy. So when this the redundancy money came in and I went out and went doolally, I bought the TV, and while I was in there was a pair of Mission 783 Freedom speakers. So I think the ones when I was growing up were 753, and probably because as time progressed and the model numbers went up with time, they became Mission 783 Freedom, and they were the flagship speakers by Mission, and they were beautiful, and they were £1,000 a pair. So yeah, I got a pair of them. So I got the TV 2.5, and I got the amp for 2.2. And I got a pair of Mission 783 speakers for £1,000. Why did you do that, you stupid escort driver? And add on a few gold-plated plugs and interconnecting cables, and I do a good DVD player. Your DVD player's running at around 150, 160 quid at the time, and I wanted better than that. And I thought more expensive is better, so I went and got a Pioneer something like a DV535, I think it was, 4,500 quid, multi-region unlocked DVD player, because in the early days of DVDs I used to buy Region 1. I used to buy from an importer Region 1 DVDs, which meant the DVD player had to support multi-region, and the TV needed to be support NTSC. It's getting windy out there. NTSC playback, which my telly did. So I had the TV, the speakers, the amp, the DVD player, a load of gold plugs, oxygen-free copper cable, OFC I think it was, copper cable, 4 strands so I could buy wireless speakers, and that was it. That was enough for me at the time. So I kept that for years and 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 years, hey, and years and years and years, and then last year bought a 42-inch plasma, Panasonic. Still got the same amp. Can't bring myself to change that, even though that's out of date now, because the new amps have all got HDMI inputs. You can get Onkyo or Panasonic amps now with like 6 or 7 HDMI inputs, all taking in video, 1080p video, all supporting 7-channel surround. But my amp that I got it's not 5.1, I think it's 6.1 surround. It's Dolby Digital EX and DTS ES, which both mean that instead of 5.1 you get 6.1. You actually get front left, front centre, front right, rear centre, rear left, and a subwoofer, and a front surround effect channel with 2 speakers up on the wall. And I've got them all connected. I've got every speaker connected to the amp that I've got. So I've got 3 front centre, 2 front left and right, rear centre, rear left and right, and then 2 more up on the wall for surround, and a subwoofer, an active sub in the corner. And that's my home theatre, and it's still on the Yamaha amp, which, because the telly now and the Blu-ray player, they're all HDMI. The amp doesn't support HDMI inputs. It supports fibre optic and coaxial inputs, and analog left and right inputs, and separate 6-channel inputs if you want to wire up 6 independent phono plugs from your DVD player or whatever. But I've got digital cable, Virgin cable TV, not Sky, and that's got fibre optic out and Dolby Digital 5.1, and that comes through the amp. So that's my home cinema system, and got a Blu-ray player. Sacked the old Pioneer player. In fact, the old Pioneer player broke, and I bought a Cambridge player, and then that broke, and then I bought another Pioneer Blu-ray. So it's a Blu-ray player and multi-region DVD, and that's on my plasma telly. So I've got that now. But yeah, the point of it being, I bought the rabbit. I bought the Mission 783 speakers, and they are a fantastic piece of kit. Fantastic hi-fi speakers with music coming through from a decent source and a good amplifier powering them. They are brilliant. They're a tall floor standing speaker on spikes, built-in spikes. Don't do it. Yeah, and they're very tall. They've got a big plinth around the bottom, and they've got, the design is, it goes up, most of it is just cabinet, and then right at the top you get the speaker enclosure. There's a tweeter with a woofer above it, and covered by a grill which is removable, but I keep grills on just for dust. And then on the side of each speaker, they're actually left and right handed speakers, because on the inside facing side of each speaker is I think it's an 8-inch bass driver in the top standard speaker enclosure, and then in the side there's it's a 10 or 12-inch bass driver. So it's actually a 3-way with a big it's not a subwoofer in the side, but it's a big bass driver, bass cone in the side behind a mesh grill, and they're beautiful. They really are nice. Although saying that, I recently bought another pair of speakers. I've got 3 pairs of floor standing speakers in my room. Sorry, I'm very greedy. One is just connected to the hi-fi left and right stereo music, and the other 2 are both on the 5.1 6.1, sorry, surround system. So at the front on the surround system, I've got a pair of Tannoy Revolution R3, which I bought quite a while ago for £400. And at the back I've got the Mission 783. I actually want them just on the music, but because of the way the room is and the amount of floor standing speakers I've got two pairs of floor standing speakers at the front of the room, stood side by side. So there's Tannoy R3 and a pair of Mordaunt Short Mezzo 6, which were my most recent purchase. And they are just on the hi-fi. They're for music only, and they're fantastic as well. I think they're equal to, I'm not going to say better than, but I think they're equal to the job of the Mission 783s. So yeah, that's me, greedy boy. The speakers I paid £1,000 for, my boyhood dream speakers, are the rear surround left and right channel of a home theatre system, and you get that. Go on, change, yeah. Roundabouts. Yes. I came on here the other day and I thought, what does that mean? With a label on the floor, A61 straight ahead, SCH right, and I thought, where's SCH? What's that? School. Okay. Now we're still in the 30 here, so we better behave. We'll have a bit of high beam as well. Last time I came on here it was daylight. Okay, well, high beam, fuck it. Yeah. If I go the same way I went the other night, well, even if I don't, I'll take you past Harewood anyway. Harewood House, big country house. I have to say I preferred this road when it was brighter, when it was daylight. Tried for 7th gear then, still haven't got one. I don't actually know this road that well either, otherwise I would I'd be a lot happier. Yeah, so I'm going to shut this one down for now actually. I've rabbited for long enough. You noticed the length of my videos, it has been commented, and I did say fairly early on when I first started vlogging, I do tend to ramble and waffle, if you haven't noticed. And when I set off tonight I was hoping I'd have a little bit of daylight, but as you can see I've squeezed every last ounce of daylight out of the thing. And we're into night now. It's now 20 to 8. So I'll shut this one down for now. I'll do another topic, maybe not now, because I'm sure that what you're getting to see is not brilliant. But meeting your boyhood dream, that's going to be one to come. Or revisiting your childhood memories. So I'll see you all again for that one. Take care until then. This is Phil. Have fun, ride safe, and be nice to each other. And yeah, be nice to the cats up the trees. And if you're lucky they haven't been at the tainted mill. Take care, mates. Bye bye.